Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bill Pay Side Hustle Challenge. And before I get into the video, I just want to say that you're going to see me look down a lot on the majority of this video, and that's because this is the crappy microphone that I have to work with. Um, and in order for me to pick up my voice really well, I pretty much need to be right up against the mic, or else it sounds muffled and sounds like crap. But it's a cheap mic, it is what it is. I'm not going to spend money on an expensive mic. I don't know if this YouTube and podcast thing's going to work out in the long run anyway. But let's get into this video. So previously, if you listen to any of my prior videos that I've done this year, what I was doing is on top of the minimum payments that I need to do on the mortgage, my wife and I was also putting an additional $1,000 on top, going straight to principal. And then on top of that $1,000, I was also putting all of my personal side hustle income, every single penny that I earned, also straight to the principal of the house. So, my excess principal per monthly period, if you want to call it that, anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,600 I was putting on the house in extra principal payments. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start this bill pay side hustle challenge. So what is this? So I'm still going to do $1,000 extra a month on top of our minimum payments for the house. So ideally, even if I just do $1,000 a month on top extra, I say only, that's a lot of money. And, hopefully it's sustainable for us. But that'll still cut the mortgage down to where we are right now, to about 12 years in total if we do 1,000 extra right now, just because we've been going so aggressive in the past 4 months that we're actually a little bit above that 1,000 a month extra, which would get you to around 17 years and 8 months of savings. But since we've been going so ham right now, if we stop right now and just do 1,000 on top instead of 1,000 plus my side hustle, we'll still get to around 12 years total to pay off a 30-year mortgage, which is incredible. I'm hoping down the road that we can refinance at some point because we're at a 5.6. But nonetheless, let's get into what this challenge is. So I recently opened a new savings account, a high yield savings account, and I just funded it with $1,000. I moved it from my savings account that I had in my bank and just put it into this account just so I can get a little bit of interest going. But I can't go lower than that $1,000 threshold. So the $1,000 is going to be essentially like the $0 floor in this account. And what you see here, cell phone, internet, car insurance, these are the 3 monthly bills that I have. Now, it's not that much, so I'm very grateful that I'm in that position. My wife is the one who pays utilities. So electricity, water, trash. The only utility that I'm paying here is internet. And before you go off on me and say that's not fair to my wife, I pay $400 more for the minimum mortgage payments than she does. So, usually she's the one making out on the better end of the deal, because usually our monthly utilities minus internet is not $400 a month, but it's usually around there. So it's a fair compromise. I pay $400 more on the monthly payment, and then she just pays the utility. So that's the deal that we have worked out. So that's why right now the only monthly expenses that I'm guaranteed are my cell phone bill, my internet bill, and my car insurance that I pay monthly. My car is a crappy little Kia that has been paid off now for 6 to 7 years. I'm looking to keep that piece of crap as long as I can. However, I have a feeling that I'm going to need a new car. Maybe in a couple years, I don't know. Maybe if we have a kid or something, that I'll need to upgrade the car a lot faster. So that's kind of why I want to start building up this kind of bill paying side hustle challenge account. So what it is as you can see here, cell phone, internet, and car insurance. The 3 amounts that I have to pay right here, which is really low. Car insurance is average, but my cell phone and my internet are really low. Both T-Mobile. My cell phone is a military package plan through my brother-in-law. And then I have T-Mobile internet, which sucks, by the way, but it is cheap and it gets the job done. My wife and I both work from home and it gets the job done. It's not great, but it does work. So right now, my total monthly expenditure on these 3, and I'm not going to include things like gas for my car or anything like that, because that fluctuates. I'm just going on the what I absolutely need to pay off each month no matter what. So $275 is what I'm going to have to earn each month in side hustle income. And instead of putting my side hustle income against the house, I am going to use it to pay these bills. Now, what's going to happen is, hopefully I can go a lot more than $200.75 a month, and I'm going to roll over the excess of that. So let's just round this number to 200. Okay, let's just say it's 200 a month in expenditures, and let's say I earn $300 for the month in side hustle income. So what I'm going to do is pay the bills. I'm literally going to take the money and pay the bills, and take that extra $100 and keep it in the account, roll it over, because what'll happen is, just because it's a high yield savings account, I'm getting around, I forget what the rate is right now. It's like 3.7 or 3 point, somewhere around there. You'll get a little bit more interest on that money. It's guaranteed. I can't lose any of the principal or anything. As long as I don't go over 250K, it's all insured, FDIC. So you get a little bit more interest, and that interest can be used towards this $200, and it should get easier and easier to pay these bills each month. And hopefully, by doing this goal, it's not just to reach that $200 that I need to pay. I go well above and beyond each month as far as I can. That way, you could look at it as I'm paying far months in advance, or I'm going to be getting more interest each month because there's rollover, and then I have to earn less and less just to make that threshold. Or I can look at it as I'm going to be having a lot more in my savings account, so I can pay for future car payments if I want to get a new car soon. So it's kind of twofold what I'm doing with this. I'm trying to get more interest, risk-free interest, if you want to call it that. I'm trying to get more risk-free interest to make my monthly bill paying prowesses a lot easier. And I'm also kind of saving for future car payments that I believe are going to happen. Maybe a couple years, maybe less than a year, maybe it won't be till 5 years. Whatever the case may be, I want to make my bill paying pretty much seamless. I want my side hustle money to actually be useful towards my bills, and I can build my personal checking account up doing this, saving the $200 in my checking account. I could also, I think it would be a little more fruitful to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's very rewarding to pay extra principal on the house and seeing that big number go down. However, at $1,000 a month, I'm already paying a big chunk of it down. And, if I'm putting an extra 300 or so from side hustle money in there, yeah, it's nice to see it go down, but it's still like, it's still like, well, yeah, I went down $300, but it's like, am I really, getting impacted? Like, I feel like my work is almost like going in futility. I know it's not, but I feel like if I'm using my side hustle money to actually pay my bills, it almost feels like a dividend, which is what I was so, into in the early part of my YouTube career. I was so into, earning up my account, my brokerage account, getting it as high as I can, and using dividend payments to hopefully pay for bills in the future. Well, I know side hustles, you're actually doing work, but it's like, since it's not your day job, and since it's all work from home, unless I'm doing eBay sales, it kind of feels like a dividend, because it's like, I'm doing it from the comfort of my own house. It's not necessarily like strenuous work. It's usually 1 to 2 hours a day maximum. And, if I can use that to pay my bills, I feel like it's going to be a little more fruitful, a little more rewarding, knowing that it's like, hey, it's cool. Just from one solid day of working, I was able to pay my cell phone bill off for the month. And it's like, I can never really say that when I was early on saving for dividends, or it's like if I'm paying off to the principal of the house, I can never say like, oh, it's not paying my bills or whatever. It's like, yeah, in the future, it might be easier. But like I said before, I mean, putting $1,000 extra on the house anyway, that's a lot of money. Okay. I have to remind myself that it's like, that's a lot of money. And it's like, 300 extra a month or whatever I would earn from the side hustle for that period. Yeah, it's great, but it's not going to make it like ultra fast. It's not like I'm going to go from like 12 years of paying off this mortgage to like 5 years by doing that. That's just not going to be the case. I might save an extra like 1 or 2 years, but I kind of want to do this, see how it goes, see if I like it. I kind of want to just pay the bills through side hustle. I think it's cool. Maybe there'll be a day where it's like I earned $50 and it's like, wow, cool. Like in one day I was able to pay off my internet expense for the month. and then let's work and chip away at that car insurance. I feel like it might be actually more motivating. It's like, you know, it's a hell of a lot harder to get the 290K that we started with the loan amount for the house. You know, it's a hell of a lot harder to chip away at that, but it's like 200 a month. That it's so much more doable. It feels doable, and it's like it's more rewarding. I feel like it's gonna be more fruitful for me. It's gonna make these side hustles more tolerable. Maybe tolerable is a word. Make the side hustles feel less like a chore and feel like, wow, it's actually going to my bills. Like it's actually very useful right now. So we're going to give this a shot. It's the side hustle, bill pay side hustle, however way I want to word this in the future. But the bill pay side hustle challenge, let's see how it goes. I'll keep you updated. Obviously, since it's March 26th, I'm not going to earn enough in 5 days? It's 31 days in March, right? Yeah. I'm not going to earn enough in 5 days to pay off my April bills. But I'll start saving up. Maybe I will pay as I go, earning in April. Maybe. I forget when each of these date-wise comes in. I'll have to research that. But you get the gist of the challenge. Let's see how it goes. I'll keep you updated pretty much every week or every month. However I feel like. I'll keep you updated on the side hustle grind. And yeah, I think this will be very fruitful, very rewarding. And I'll see you in the next video.